Welcome back to another Josh Reacts. We're going to watch some dangerous encounters today. Let's dive in. All right, I'm pressing play. Bam. Number one. Oh, we're bear hunting. Oh, yeah, that's not what you want. Yeah. Let's just pause this. Okay, so I used to do a lot of bear hunting. I stopped doing bear hunting because the whole world hates me now for bear hunting. When I bear hunted, this happens a lot more frequently than what most people think. Bears climbing up the tree is one of the worst things that could absolutely happen because in this scenario, it looks like if we take this back, it looks like it's a couple cubs. They're not huge, but they're not small. So they could be like 2-year-old bears. And this is extremely dangerous because now if they feel threatened, they could attack you. Most of the time, anyone that does any amount of bear hunting, bears are typically not aggressive like this. I want to kind of see how this finishes though. Oh my God. I know. That guy is his pants right now. It's like, oh, the bear's like, hi, how you doing? See if Mama comes in the picture here, that is when things get really bad because Mama doesn't know that those guys aren't going to hurt her cubs. She comes right up in there. You've heard stories of bears wiping out bottoms of tree stands. I mean, everything. How do you hunt a bear after that kind of encounter? I mean, look at that. That's crazy. That bear doesn't want to be there just as much as those guys don't want that bear to be there. That is hilarious. That's a lot of fun. I've had bears climb up in trees in front of me, but nothing ever came up my tree like that. That's pretty cool. All right, number two. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is not a situation you want to be in. This is definitely out west where cougars are. And that cougar is coming for him. Now, pause. This is a very serious situation. Like that first one, I was pretty certain no bears were going to hurt the guy, just because that's not really their temperament. But this cougar, ears are pinned back. This thing's ready to charge. I mean, this guy could get charged any second. And when guys are out hunting out west, a lot of them carry sidearms for grizzlies. They don't expect to run into cougars like this or mountain lions. This is, holy smokes, look at that. Oh my God, this is being filmed on a GoPro, which makes it feel like it's much further than it is. This is right on this guy. And he's missed twice. Thank God, but it's enough to scare the cougar. I mean, he was definitely in the right to shoot. I would have done the same thing. That mountain lion clearly went and charged him. Let's back that up. Oh my God. It was coming. It was going to attack him. Look at this. Watch this. Yeah, it was coming. Hats off to this guy, whether it's a hiker or a hunter. That dude waited to the very last second before he shot at that cougar. Now, I don't know if he missed on purpose or didn't, but in these situations, a lot of guys shoot too early, and it's just not fair to the animal because she could have, a baby back there and just trying to protect it, and this hiker or hunter is walking nearby. Usually, the type of mountain lions that attack people are actually the very old ones that are having a hard time catching prey anymore. Their teeth get wore down, their claws get wore down to where they can't hold on to prey. They're not as fast. Maybe they're too big. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into the age of a mountain lion, which is why hunting is so important for predators like this. A lot of people think us hunters go out there and we're just harvesting every animal there is, shooting all of them, but it's not true. I mean, good hunters are always trying to get the most mature animals, and mountain lions need to be hunted. I've never hunted a mountain lion, but it's definitely needed. And this situation right here is a great example. I mean, if there's a dense population of mountain lions, that means there's competition for hunting, which could just mean that this cougar is starved. It could be that scenario there to where he's trying to eat an easy prey, which is human. This is some scary stuff here. Again, hats off to this guy. I mean, he waited to the very last second before he pulled that trigger. He did miss twice. It looks like the mountain lion evaded, and so did he. Awesome. Let's move on to the next one. Got serious quick. Number 3. We are on a safari in Africa, and holy smokes. The power of these animals is insane. Look at that elephant. Holy crap. That thing is picking up not a pickup truck, but a literal like semi-looking vehicle and picking it completely off the ground with its tusk. This is not a situation you want to be in because that tusk right there can go right through the windshield, and that dude is dead. He could flip that over, and the second that person starts running, that person is going to get trampled and killed. This is not a situation that you want to be in. And I've been in a lot of situations where I've been close to elephants in the wilds of Tanzania, and they don't mess around. I mean, we treat those situations very delicately and very seriously because a lot of people die from being charged by elephants and just big game in Africa. A fun fact about elephants, which is kind of cool, is if they mock charge, their ears actually stay forward because they're trying to look as big as possible. And when they actually charge, their ears lay back. So if you're ever in a situation where you're being charged by an elephant or being mock charged, how you tell the difference? Mock charges, ears forward. He's not going to kill you. The second those ears go back, you're dead. So keep that in mind, and you'll be hearing my voice seconds before you die. And you're like, he was right, and then you'll die. Moving on. Number 4.
I'm trying to kill this grizzly bear with my bow.
Oh, Donnie
He's
Vincent.
7 steps away from me. I'm going to shoot an arrow right down through where his neck connects to his chest. It's going to go right through his chest hole, and it's going to basically
Let's just
cut
pause this. Oh, wait a second. This is a freaking brown bear hunt.
his
All right,
aortic arch
let's just
off
let
the
this
top of
play
his
for a
heart.
minute.
That's what I'm going to do. And he's
He
going to
said it
die in
was 8
seconds.
steps.
And I release the arrow, and my arrow drills a stick. But I think I smashed him, and the bear kind of backs up. And I'm like, oh, he's just waiting for him to literally tip over dead. I'm just sitting there, and Lance goes, "You missed." And now I'm freaking out. Right? So I come to full draw, and the bear starts coming. And I come to full draw, and I literally just rip my release, trying to like make something out of nothing. And my arrow goes right in front of him. And Lance literally goes, loads his gun, and from his hip, he just turns and shoots. Boom! He's on the ground, and all of our ears are ringing because he just shot a gun literally right next to us, and we're like in a dream sequence, right? We're just sitting there going, "Oh, whoa,
oh my gosh." Let's bring that back. There's a lot that I want to kind of go over with this. A lot of you have seen our YouTube channel. If you haven't, I did a really amazing peninsula brown bear hunt. So he's probably on the Yukon or the peninsula. And this situation is so scary to be in because this happens a lot, and you see a lot of people get really messed up from bear attacks, and the guide pushed this as far as he could. I mean, that tells you how much faith he had in Donnie Vincent. Normal guides would not let it get this far, and what I mean by that, get this far before they shot. At 8 steps, that bear could be on them in literally 1 second. I'm talking 1 second, that bear could be ripping them to pieces. And this situation, I remember on my hunt personally, when we ran up this river, I mean, he was coming down this river. So we were kind of in this embankment on the river, and my bear was coming down. And I remember a moment I saw him, I went full draw, and he looked at us. And I wondered for a split second, is he going to charge us or is he going to run? And he ran. But prior to me finishing the story, I need to kind of lay the scene out. I told my guide, I said, if you shoot my bear, I will be so pissed off. There will be hell on earth for you if you shoot my bear if I made a lethal shot. He says, we shoot the bears. He's like, you don't want to be tracking a wounded bear. It will kill you. I'm like, you do not shoot my bear. And I got in an altercation with him, letting him know, I'm like, it won't count to me if you finish that animal with the rifle, even if I shoot it in the heart. Do not do that unless you know for an absolute fact it was a bad shot. He goes up on this bank, and when I looked down to adjust my sight, he took 2 steps further, and I had ranged him. He ended up being 54 and not 50. And so I hit him this much lower than where I was hoping for. Every other scenario, that guide would have shot, and he didn't because of the altercation that we had. And so we expected him to be dead. He was quartering in. Definitely, we thought was a perfect shot. We reviewed the footage. Amazing. We go back, and we start tracking right up the hill. We expected him to be on top of the hill. We get to the top of that hill, and there's no bear. A lot of blood, no bear. And then we see the tracks going into the alders. Now, if you don't know what an alder is, look at this, and you'll see it is just a spider web of trees that you can't run through. Us mortal humans can't run through. Brown bear, grizzly bears, those guys can run through it like it's nothing. And then I realized right then and there how wrong I was by telling that guide not to shoot if he had any question at all about my shot, because we just put all of our lives in danger at that moment, because now we're going into the thickest alders that you can imagine, tracking a bear that could still be alive. And it was such a humbling experience for me. And I was like, God, there's reasons why these guys do what they do. And there's a lot of pressure on him. And he didn't want to let me down as his client, but we also never want to let the animal down and do the right thing. You know, it was unbelievable to think that we were in the alders at that moment tracking this bear that we thought could still be alive. Every part of me had wished that he had shot that bear, because now I didn't know I was putting his life in danger, obviously my own, but my camera guys as well. And it was a very, very, very scary situation to be in. And we tracked all the way through, and sure enough, we found that bear still alive. I couldn't believe it. And it wasn't that long after I shot him, maybe 6 hours, but still a long time. I got a follow-up shot at him, killed him quick, but it was a scary moment for me. So I tell you that story because I understand how Donnie's feeling at this moment, and that guide in this exact situation. When you go full draw on an animal that not only is that big and that massive, but can also kill you, it takes a whole other level of focus to make the right shot, because everything in your body wants you to shoot as fast as possible to get the heck out of there. You got to stay in the moment. And Donnie obviously hit a branch in this shot. Maybe he was dealing with some target panic issues. It's hard to tell in the video, but based on his story, it looks like he hit a branch and it glanced off. And then the follow-up shot was just pure panic. So I don't fault him for that. To think about how close those guys could have been from getting mauled, killed. I mean, it was this close. We're talking 8 steps. I mean, that's literally one leap and he's in swiping distance. This is a very, very scary type of video to watch, and not a situation any hunter wants to be in. All right, moving on. Number 5. Oh boy. You can hear the line. Look at him. Oh God. It hit the guy. Whoa. I've spent a lot of time in Africa, and I've spent a lot of time hunting big, dangerous animals. I've shot probably 8 to 10K buffalo, which are extremely dangerous. I've been around lions. I've never shot a lion. Been around elephants that kill people. Hippos, especially, been charged by those a lot. So I've been in this situation way more times than I would like to be. But a charging cat is one of the most dangerous things that you could be charged by. And the reason is because they're not coming on a straight line. Hippos, elephants, Cape buffalo, they charge a straight line. You got a big old gun, you just wait till the right at the last second, you shoot them between the eyes. These cats, they're coming at you zigzagging. They're not always following the straight line, which is very, very dangerous, because these animals, they'll soak up round after round of 500 Nitro Expresses, just huge monster elephant bullets. You're boom, boom, boom. And it's like it doesn't even phase them. You got to brain them or spine them, or they don't die until they've already mauled you to a smithereens and you're a puddle on the ground, and then they'll die with you. This situation is really messed up, because basically what's probably happened in this scenario, if this was a canned hunt, which it's hard to tell, I don't know, they get up and they get close to the lion, and in this scenario, they could have already shot it once and it was wounded, which is probably the scenario if I had to guess. They clearly could see the lion. You hear the lion doing its growls, and then it charges, and then they shoot him. But that dude was this close to dying. I mean, you can see when let's look at this. You can see this lion's charges, and he literally hits the guy. This is great. He shot him in the brain. That's the only reason. The dude, I guarantee you, that he got hit, shot him in the head. And a lot of guys shoot too early. That dude waited till the last second till he knew when he shot it, hit him in the brain. That dude saved his own life with his ability to wait, because a lot of those guys just have a double barrel, side by side with 2 shots. So you don't want to shoot too early or you die. This is never a situation you want to be in. Thank God that lion was running decently straight. And, oh man. Whew, that was tough. That was it. Very different than the last one. It started out fun, with the bears climbing the trees, but it got more and more progressively serious. All these guys barely getting away. You got to realize for every guy that barely gets away, there's 10 guys that didn't. Man. what a crazy video to watch. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was wild and definitely different pace than archery fails. So if you guys enjoyed this, let us know down in the comments. Tag us in videos, send them to us on Instagram, TikTok, or on YouTube, and then we'll react to them as well. As always, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do that. It's the best way to say thank you to Sarah and I. We'll see you in the next video.